Hello, my lovelies. It's Susanna, and today I want to show you how to find the length of this missing side here. This side lies inside this big triangle, which is a right triangle. We are given the length of this side and this 30-degree angle in here. And we want to find this side here, so let's call it x. And x is part of this smaller triangle down here. The problem just is that we don't know a whole lot about this triangle yet. We know one angle and one side, but it is not a right triangle, so calculations are not that easy. We need some more information here. The more we know about our triangle, the better. So maybe we start with this angle here. I call it alpha. How can we find alpha? Alpha is part of this big triangle, which is a right triangle. So in right triangles, we are allowed to use sine, cosine, and tangent. The question just is, which one are we going to use for our scenario here? There is a help if we write this as so, ka, toa, and take a look at what we have here in our triangle and what we don't have. Across my right angle, this side here is the so-called hypotenuse. We don't know the length of the hypotenuse, which means that if we go back to this here and take a look at where would we need the hypotenuse, we can see it in here and in here. And because we don't know the hypotenuse, we know immediately we cannot use the sine and we cannot use the cosine. We have to use the tangent. And the tangent uses the opposite side and the adjacent side. So the tangent says take tangent of your angle of alpha, and this is then equal to the opposite side divided by the adjacent side. And the opposite side of our angle alpha is the side across here, so it's the 15. We can insert the 15 in here. And the adjacent side is the side next to my angle alpha, which is not the hypotenuse. So this side here is also next to my angle, but it is already the hypotenuse across the right angle. So the other side next to my angle, this is my adjacent side, which is of length 30. And now we only have to solve this equation for alpha. For this, we have to get rid of this tangent here, so we can use the inverse tangent function, tangent to the power of -1, also called arctangent. If we apply this on both sides of the equation, we get rid of this tangent here, and only alpha is left, but we also have to apply it on the other side, so we take arctangent of the entire right side, which is just this fraction here. And now we can find our angle alpha by just calculating this. Type it in your calculator, and you should get an angle of 26.57 degrees for our angle alpha. Okay, so now we found our angle here, and in this small triangle down here, we now know two angles. And with this information, we can find the third angle. If I call it beta, then in a triangle, if I add all three angles, I always have to get a result of 180 degrees. So I can find beta by taking these 180 degrees and then subtract the other two angles. So I subtract 30 degrees and the 26.57 degrees. So for beta, I get a result of 123.43 degrees. So I know beta now as well. And I know a lot of my triangle down here now. We still want to find the length of this side, but we know all three angles and we know the length of one of the sides. This is still not a right triangle, so we are not allowed to use sine, cosine, or tangent in here. But there is also the so-called law of sine that can be used in any triangle. So it doesn't have to be a right triangle. And for the law of sines, we will need sides and angles that lie across these sides. So if we pick this side here first, because we know its length, then we also need the angle that lies across this side. So this is a group. And because we're interested in this length here, we will need the angle that lies across this side. So this is a group. And the law of sine then says the following. Pick one of your sides. It doesn't matter if you start with the x or with the 30. We just start with the x for now. Then divide this by the sine, because it's the law of sine of the opposite angle, so of 26.57 degrees. And then this is the same as if you take the other side, the 30, and divide this by the same thing, by the sine of the opposite angle. So this green thing, the 123.43 degrees. And now we only have to solve this equation for x. We want to get rid of this sine expression here, so let's multiply both sides of the equation by sine of 26.57 degrees here, and the same thing on the other side, so that here it cancels out and only x is left. And on the other side, we can type all of this into our calculator and get a result of 16.08 for our x. I hope it helped you. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I wish you a wonderful day, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos. Take care!